Hello again, and welcome to We're All Fine, the podcast that provides unsolicited advice from totally unqualified people. As ever, I'm Holly.
I'm Carley.
And we have a very fun episode for you guys today. Well, I mean, fun if it's never happened to you, maybe.
Is it?
Fun if you were the... So it's about cheating. It's about cheaters. So maybe I shouldn't say a fun episode. Maybe I should call it an angry episode.
Maybe salacious, scandalous. Ooh, all the things.
I feel like I should start over again. We're so excited because we've got a salacious, scandalous episode.
No, that was perfect. That was great.
Okay.
That was so good. People are going to love it.
Yeah, that sounds a lot better. When I say it's a fun episode, that's like Alanis Morissette calling all those things ironic when they were just unfortunate.
Which was the whole point of the song, but it's fine.
So, okay.
I'm sorry.
And take two. Wah, wah. So here's what we're going to do today, guys. We've got some, it could be worse situations, which are some couple pretty gnarly cheating stories that, listen, they're anonymous. So I'm kind of hoping that it's not you that we're talking about, because the last thing I want to do is invest in some schadenfreude joy in other people's pain.
It's true.
They're pretty gnarly. And then we're going to offer some advice as we do. And then we're going to play a little game. I'm really jazzed.
Playing games. I'm pretty excited about it. And like, I don't know a single person that hasn't been touched by or dealt with infidelity. Either like the other woman, the other man, the other person, or they're the person actively cheating, or they have cheated, or revenge cheat. Like, there's so many different aspects, or you're the victim of it. And like, I'm not passing judgment on anybody. I'm not, because I mean, I will say I don't believe humans are monogamous by nature. We are monogamous by choice.
Okay.
And so I am all for people that are able to be monogamous always. That's my plan with my husband. I'm not going to mess this up. Like, that's my plan. But like, I've been a monster in my past. I was a revenge cheater a lot. Like, if I found out you cheated, I'd stay in the relationship and then I would cheat. I was the other woman unknowingly at one point in my life. Like, really, I think you can be across the board and there's not going to be any judgment. Are we going to laugh? Yeah. Are we going to make jokes? For sure. And I've also been the person who had my heart like ripped out of my chest and cheated on in like the worst ways. So
you have to laugh at it. Because if you don't laugh, you cry, right?
Exactly. Or you see their cars.
I like that. I think I've seen that one on a Buddhist sticker at some point. I will say, you say monogamy is, we do it like it's a choice. And to me, when somebody says like it's a choice, it feels like it's something difficult that you have to do. But I have friends who are in consensual non-monogamous relationships and consensual non-monogamous marriages, and people who are, oh my gosh, you can be in love with lots of poly. So who are poly, and to me that sounds exhausting. I don't know if we've even talked about this. I feel like we've talked about this before. It just sounds so exhausting. That I know it's a choice, but God, I'm like, oh my gosh, just having the one husband feels like a lot.
It's so much work. And then I think about like, if I had multiple partners, like how are they all putting up with like my nonsense? Like, I'm high maintenance. I think poly is beautiful. And I have a lot of inner work to do before I could do it successfully, because but like some of the happiest marriages I know, some of the most well-rounded individuals in my life have practiced non-monogamy for years, decades, and they're doing wonderfully. And so I would love to be there eventually, maybe, but like, I gotta work on myself. I have a little monster in me that if my husband was like, yeah, I think I like someone else, I'm like, no, you're dead now. Like, that's so sad for you.
No, listen, I have your same level of not healthy inside. I don't think that I would be like cool with it. Like, you babe, you do you. Like whatever. I can't. I am not that strong and confident in me. So that's how I can look at some of these cheating stories and go, woof. Woof.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Oh, yeah, because if my husband cheated, he'd be missing too. So, like, both ways. I'm the problem. Clearly.
I'm the problem. It's me. All right, you ready for a good one? Here we go.
I'm so ready.
It could be worse. My ex told me that he was hanging out with his cousin, who he'd reconnected with a bunch. I found out he was cheating on me with her. He told me he had lied to me and that she was just a friend and not his cousin, as if that made it any better. Like, thankfully they aren't cousins, but yes, he still admitted to cheating on me. Turns out it was his cousin. He was cheating on me with his cousin. I was so disgusted and disturbed, I vomited all over the floor. And my grandpa died that day I found out. Okay. That last line was like a weird...
That was weird. It was weird. Like, it was a shit day. There was a couple messes that had to be cleaned up. But, like, sorry about your grandpa.
I feel like that sort of buried the lead. That's like the Mean Girls moment where she's like, if I could have my wish, I wish it could be Halloween and world peace. Then she's like, oh, wait, maybe world peace should be first.
Yeah, right.
Then it's Halloween. Yeah.
Yep. Yep. Oh, my God.
But also, you would not believe how lenient the rules on marrying your cousin are here in Colorado.
They're in so many states. Here's the thing I want to have in common with my cousins. We have the same grandparents, and then that's it. I don't need to know anything beyond that.
You don't?
No.
I mean, it's great that you guys would start off the relationship having so much in common, like a bloodline,
family traditions, same recipes. You guys probably like how people cook. Yeah. It's disgusting.
Your family tree doesn't branch. It just grows straight up.
Like, I have a cousin who is my love cousin, and he was married into our family. So I only have the one cousin. So he's not blood, he's by love. And we have no blood relation. I cannot look at that person as if he has any sexual anything. Like, I'm like, you are my cousin. Like, no. No. So I don't understand how you can be related to someone and be like, looking pretty good, Tracy. Like, no, you're not. Mm-mm.
You'd be surprised. I don't know where I was, but I was actually hanging out with somebody recently on 420. I was at an event, and this woman works for the state. And she said, like, she's one of the people that helps, like, issue marriage licenses. And she said 420 was a huge day. That one and Valentine's Day were huge days for people wanting to get married. Who knows? And she was the one that said you would not believe how many people come in to marry their cousin.
Oof.
I know.
I can't. I don't know. I can't do it. Maybe it's because I come from peasants, like maybe my bloodline was just so far from royal that I just am like, I'm okay. No, I'll date the farmer up the road. Thanks, though.
Well, I'm not like justifying this guy cheating with his cousin. I'm just saying he's not alone.
No, that's very clear.
I've done it. No. I'm just saying. Okay.
I never thought that of you.
Thank you. Sorry, I didn't mean to be so defensive. This feels like one of those, like, methinks she doth protest too much. Like, no. Just saying. Okay, I'm going to move on to the next one. My ex and I were together for 8 years. She'd been sleeping with her boss for the last year of our relationship. We were looking at getting a new place to rent. She was adamant that she wanted to live in this very specific block of flats. Turns out her boss lived downstairs from us. They were having sex right under my nose.
Ooh, abuse of power. Also, like, a huge fantasy for a lot of people. And because it's two consenting adults, like, it was probably pretty hot, but wrong. Very wrong. I don't like it. Abuses of power are not ways to go. But
how did he not know her boss was living downstairs? Like, they're together that long and he doesn't.
I watch a lot of reality TV, And Love and Hip Hop Atlanta specifically, there have been at least 3 or 4 times where the wife finds out that the husband had the girlfriend in the same apartment building, like sometimes on the same floor.
How is that?
It's actually very common. Not just based off of Love and Hip Hop. I mean, that is the first thing I came up with, or like my brain came up with. But no, it's actually very common. And a lot of men and women that have like the secret families and like the double wives and stuff, they'll either have it really far distance so that they'll never be around the same people, or they have them so close, it's incredible and like mind-boggling that they never got caught.
That is like real narcissist red flag right there. I mean,
100%.
How much more red flag can you get having a secret family? I don't know.
I don't know how you do it. How do you deal with 2 houses of laundry?
Again,
it's not worth it.
I refer back to how do people do non-monogamy. I don't. I'm far too lazy for that.
See.
Well, let's dole out some advice. I'm feeling very opinionated right now.
Ooh, I love that. Okay. Are you guys ready? This person is anonymous, found it on Reddit because, as you all know, it's a treasure trove. Am I wrong for letting another man pay for my drinks? This person asked. I, 40 female, was on a work trip and went to the hotel bar. The people next to me, 2 men and 1 woman, offered to pay for my drinks. The first one I ordered myself, and when they overheard, they insisted they pay. The second they ordered for me, since it was last call, and I wasn't going to say no to another free drink. Why not? I didn't think it meant anything. The drinks didn't mean anything, which I already knew. 1 man from the group of 3 paid. The other man was with his wife. The first man paid for all of our drinks, not just mine. The single man was the one that paid for all of them. I specified multiple times that I was married, even talked about my husband, maybe a little too excessively, because I did want to make it known it was not at the hotel bar for a hookup. No one made a pass at me. It was perfectly fun, respectful evening with other adults who were in their 60s and also at the hotel bar because they too were on a work trip as well. When I got back to my hotel room and called my husband, he flipped and said that the single man was trying to fuck me. He said I never should have taken the free drinks, and it was basically a contract to have sex with the other man later. I got back to my room. After I got back to my room and he got upset, the only thing that kept playing in my head was, really, do men only buy women drinks at the bar for sex? I never got this vibe from them, though I can't speak to their motives. My husband says that I'm being naive and nothing in life is free. Am I in the wrong?
No, but I think it also...
I feel the same way.
This is a big thing. There are some men out there that feel like purchasing that $5.50 bottle of Bud now entitles them to access to your body. And yep. I'm unclear how that's transactional, especially like that's not decided upon. She doesn't say, buy me this beer and no. If he just brings you a drink and you accept it, that is not a promise for sex. It's just not. A promise for sex is her saying, I'd like to give you sex. Like that's it. Yeah. That's essentially
that's the only time.
I've known a lot of men who, as far as they're concerned, she shouldn't accept it if she's not willing to talk to him, to give him a chance, to hook up, to whatever.
Gross. No, because I'm sorry, I tell my daughter this all the time. Like, your body is not a form of currency. So if somebody says, oh, if you do this, I'll give you a hug. No, you're like not okay. To something like that with children all the way up. Uh-huh. And I'm sorry, but some men are like that. And unfortunately, she is clearly married to one. That's the problem here. Some stranger saw that you were alone and not in a predatory way. He was with his friends that were married and was like, hey, come here. Just like when we were kids and we hoped that when we were going through one of our awkward phases, that someone saw us eating lunch alone and invited us over.
Uh-huh.
A kind act doesn't necessarily mean he was like, I'm going to get paid in vagina. So the only person who's in the wrong here, I think, is the husband. And I don't think she did anything wrong. I don't think she cheated.
I'm sorry. I just had a cat join us in
I
my little studio. She is extremely vocal.
Oh,
I
see,
apologize.
the best ones always are. Like, I don't understand how that would be a problem. Even if the guy had said, like, hey, you're super beautiful. Can I get you a drink? And she said, yes. My husband, blah, 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 and then kept it very harmless and still respected the relationship. I'm even fine with it going that far.
I do feel like if he had come up and said, hey, I'd like to buy you a drink, and then she goes, yeah, that would be great. That is inviting the conversation at the very least. That's saying I am interested in getting to know you, because it's an opening line. So if she's not there to pick somebody up, okay, but if she's at the bar and she orders, and then he's like, put it on my tab.
Yeah.
And they're all chatting it up and there's a big group. My God, thanks. When I was younger, you know, I'm like, my husband and I are super broke and we're like doing the best we can or whatever. And we were engaged at the time, but like we'd be at the bar. Chad would look at me and he's like, that guy's checking you out. And I was like, okay. And he's like, see if he'll get you a free drink. And I was like, what? And he's like, wouldn't that be awesome? You get free beer. I'm like, wow. Well, okay. Or we'd like drive in on, for those in the Springs who would know this, but we'd be like on Academy, right? Like cruising, and like we'd be at a stoplight and a car full of dudes would come up next to me and they'd be like, hey, and my husband would be like, tell him I'm your brother. He's like, this is so funny. But also like to say, I've never dealt with jealousy from my husband, except with totally unrealistic moments. Like he was very uncomfortable with Tobey Maguire in the very first Spiderman. I guess I made, you know, back when it came out, and I'm seeing it in the theater, and I guess I made like a face, right? And he like puts his hand on my knee in the movie theater and he goes, I'm cute too. And he was like, he legitimately meant it. And I didn't know how to tell him, like, there's not actually going to be a chance of me meeting Tobey Maguire, let alone sleeping with him.
No.
So guy at the bar buying me a drink, awesome, get free stuff. Tobey Maguire, that could really happen.
Right. That's where it hurts. That's when it gets painful. Yeah, the husband's the problem. She did nothing wrong, and she should get a new husband. Okay. But this leads us to a very fun game, because I want to know. I want to know if I'm maybe too jealous, maybe not jealous enough. I want to just like put my finger on the pulse of other people who are married, which brings me to our super fun, cool new tool. Ka-cha-cha! Are these great?
Okay, should I write yes and no, or should I write cheating? Like, what should I put on there?
Oh, yeah. Well, because I was going to ask, like, is it cheating if...
Okay, I'm going to do cheating and not cheating.
No, that's smart. That's super smart.
I'm so excited about this.
I'm so excited.
We're going to have some people that get real frustrated with us in our DMs.
I'm pretty sure. I hope so. Because, like, if I'm being crazy, I would be fine with somebody letting me know. Like, I think I could be a mess, but I don't know.
I know I'm a mess, but I also feel pretty confident in my completely wrong answers. All right, I enjoy that. All right, I've got cheating down, and now I'm not going to do not cheating. I'm going as quick as I can.
No, you're doing great. You're doing fine. But, like, you know, listeners, play this game with your partner at home. Pause after every question, see what your partner says, and not to start fights. We are not in the business of ruining relationships, but sometimes we pass our partner's boundaries. We can make our partners uncomfortable because we think we're doing something harmless and we're not. So these are actually really good things to like clear up, I think.
Okay, I got it.
Okay, I'm so excited. All right. I think this one's a pretty easy one. Are we ready?
Okay.
Watching porn. Is it cheating or no? 1, 2, 3, go. I agree. That's for yourself. It's for your own consumption. It's not hurting anybody. Do you? Like, I don't care.
Watching porn, I don't have at it.
Yeah, so cheating. Liking other people's pictures on Instagram and Facebook. I agree.
There is a caveat. If it's a bunch of like swimsuit models that he doesn't know, I'm gonna kind of be like, I'm gonna maybe have some questions. I don't feel like he's cheating, but I'm gonna maybe have some questions.
No, that's super fair. See, I'm the complete opposite. Like, if you see some, like, big booty girls all over your social media and Instagram, especially if that's how they're earning their income by, like, Instagram modeling and, like, stuff like that, give them a like. Help them pay their bills. Like, I'm all for it. But if it's, like, an ex-girlfriend from high school, I'm gonna be a little bit more curious. If there's been a connection there, I don't think it's cheating, but I think it could definitely be like a pause, quick pause.
I like your point of view. I changed my mind.
Oh,
you're right.
Oh my God, thank you.
Like it all. Yeah. Like the big booty girls.
Yeah. Oh, I like that. Okay, great. Late night phone calls with friends, coworkers that are on a personal basis. I agree. Nobody should be calling you past 8 unless it's your mama or your siblings. Or a friend in dire need. But we better both know who this friend is. If we haven't barbecued with you and you were calling my husband past 8, nope.
Is that the prerequisite? Like, they have to have barbecued with you, and then you're like,
okay,
I'll limit the time.
Yeah, because if you're willing to, like, sit around and, like, eat, like, subpar food that your friend made for like 4 hours with someone, if you call me at 10 o'clock because your tire blew out, like, that's justified. Or you had a rough day at work, you just like want to bitch about it, okay. But other than that, no way, Jose. Get off my phone.
Okay, I like it.
I do too.
We seem to be on the same page. This is great.
I like it too. Okay, here's kind of a one. Hooking up with someone else, but while you're on a break.
Ready?
Yeah. We agree. Yeah, like the whole point of a break is to see if you really want to continue the relationship with that person. I think you should be able to date, have sex with, do whatever you want to on that break. Because when you come back together, whatever you did that helped you decide to come back together needed to happen.
Well, because what else is the break? It's just we are agreeing to still be in this relationship but not talk to each other for a while.
Right.
That's not really a break. That's the silent treatment. If this is like an actual break, is saying, listen, we are going to break up, but we are going to come back and mediate and reevaluate after a set amount of time.
Yeah, I agree. 100%. Look at us. Oh, we would be very compatible in a relationship.
Oh my God, Carley, you want to do a podcast with me?
Oh my God, that'd be great. Yes, please. I only have a couple more. So this was actually an instance that I had a friend-ish person. So their partner had dating apps on their phone, but never talked to anybody on them, but still had the app. Is that cheating? Yes or no? You're being so understanding. I can't wait to hear.
Okay, so I guess in a court of law, I don't know.
Yeah,
I think if my husband has dating apps on his phone, I'm gonna be pissed.
Oh,
like real pissed. But if he's never even been on them, which seems weird, why would you download them and not be on them?
So the profile was still active. So people could have been messaging, could have been swiping, but they weren't, like, when the partner went through the other person's phone, because it was invited, there had been no activity through their whole relationship, but the app was not uninstalled and the account was still activated.
Okay, I'm gonna say not.
Really?
Yep, because that to me just sounds like somebody who's got major commitment phobia. Like, this is somebody who's so worried that it's not going to work out that they want to be able to have like a cushion or a safety net.
Yeah.
Because deleting those, I mean, friends that I know who have done the dating app thing, deleting the apps means you've done it. You won. Yeah. You found the person. That's great. And you're ready to commit to them. But if you're super afraid that person's going to leave, it's not going to work out.
That's actually really fair. You are so reasonable.
Listen, we each had to have a point that made more sense. So
that's super fair. Yeah, I guess I'll give it to you. But if it's one of my friends, you're a rotten man whore. If you had the apps on your phone. I mean, if it's
accurate.
No, gosh darn it, you're super smart. Okay. Receiving pictures on your phone that could be deemed risque from someone besides your partner. So here's an example. One of your friends is like, look, I got a new pair of leggings, and it's an ass shot.
But is he responding to it?
I mean, so here's my thing. This is gonna go here, but see how you can still see the yes a little bit? Because why does someone feel comfortable enough to send you pictures of their new butt pants?
Okay, but that's not fair. To me, that's like, yeah, but you know, what were you wearing? If you didn't invite it.
Yeah. No, I hear that.
And
I do hear that.
Justin is just the kindest, most adorable human.
It's true.
And you know, there'd be some girls that are like, check out my butt.
No, it's true. But he would literally be running to me. Like, babe!
Right? And you wouldn't accuse him of cheating.
No, that's so true.
Right? Mm-hmm. And I don't even think my husband would notice that somebody was flirting with him. He would be like, those are cool pants. I like the color.
Would too.
Like, just...
See, mine would too. He's so harmless that sometimes I feel like he gets into like little like rabbit holes with people and doesn't realize like where he is. Yeah. Which is really difficult. Okay, last one.
Okay, give it to me. I got it.
Grinding and sexy dancing with a stranger or a friend at a club. I agree. If our genitals are rubbing together or on each other's legs or butts, that's bad. That's bad. Don't do it.
No, that's not. Now, have I been out at a club and been sexy dancing with my girlfriends? Yes. Yeah, but also, I think, I don't know, it's different. We're not like grinding on each other. We might be like sexy dancing with each other.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I mean like dirty dancing, Patrick Swayze, like the whole like flipped back and like grinding, you know.
I'm sorry, I missed that. Could you show me that one more time?
No, I hurt my back. I think I threw it out. That's awesome. My pride and my back. But like, you know, when like he has her like propped up on his thigh and they're like, you know, like that's cheating. That is bad. Don't do it.
I'm really impressed that you had visuals for every single one of those.
Thanks.
So, no, thank you. Thank you, Carley.
My brain is a picture book.
Okay, all right. Now, I have one to throw your way.
I'm so ready.
Because I see this one a lot. Okay. Text exchanges with someone that, while never sexy, are intimate. They've never met in person, but intimate personal text messages. Go ahead. Why?
100%. Because we live in a day and age where your partner can cheat on you while you're cuddling on the couch together. There's no reason that you, put that in your brain noggins, people.
Oh, God.
It can happen. They can literally be actively cheating on you while you are in their arms with the help of like mobile devices, social media, all of that. Text message exchanges, with every letter you push, you are building a conversation, and you are building that conversation with motive and intention. So if you are being like clearly intimate in these conversations with someone, that is 100% cheating, because there has to be intimacy and emotion are like this. So there is some sort of emotional aspect there, and an emotional affair is way harder for me to ever understand. Like if you got blackout wasted and you made out with some like cute chick at a club, I'm still gonna cut up like all of your clothes, but like I could be more understanding. Like if you are actively pushing each letter to build an emotional bond with someone else, I'm out 5,000.
Wow. No, you got real spicy on that one.
Oh, because
the only reason I bring that up is because there is a big debate about that on like, is cheating only a physical act or is it an emotional act? And, you know, an emotional infidelity, that almost feels worse.
I think it's worse. But people, I'm so glad you agree, because like people have argued with me about that. Like, well, at least if they fell in love with the other person and that was who they were supposed to be with, it's I could understand it more. No. You don't have my heart in your pocket and then go fall in love with someone else. Like, that's way harder for me to handle. But I have one last one that I want to ask you.
All right.
if you have to pay for it, is it cheating? Really? No, 100%. I am like 100% in the mindset that like if you pay for it, and I don't mean like taking a girl out to dinner because that's gross. We've already covered that. You're not paying to sleep with her. But if you have something that you need that I cannot provide and it's a transactional business thing, I'm fine with it. Now, I need to clarify this because my husband will panic. My husband does not and has never been a customer of sex work. He has to have an emotional connection of some kind. So I take care of what he needs me to take care of. But like, for instance, I had a boyfriend in college and he was super into like dominatrix stuff. And I could get so far, but not all the way. And so he would go to a dominatrix, and I was all for that because it was something he needed that I couldn't provide. And that dominatrix didn't like him as a person, didn't want to be with him. It was their job. Just like strip clubs. I'm super cool with my partner going to any sort of gentleman club, exotic club. I'm good with it because those girls don't like you. They just like paying their bills.
But here's the thing with that. And I at no point, like, please understand, I'm not kink shaming anybody.
Oh, no.
Like, if anybody who wants to do it, like, great, good on you. That's fantastic. The thing about it is that I don't think that I could handle knowing my husband or my partner couldn't, like, be fulfilled in our relationship and needed to go to somebody outside of it to fulfill that. That would seem to me that our relationship was not sturdy. Now, strip clubs is a different story. Like, if he's going out with the guys for a bachelor party or I don't know, some of these things, whatever, I don't care. I remember going to those when I was like in my 20s.
All the time.
Like there'd be a big group of us and mostly they would send us away because girls are not the most fun to be at strip clubs with because we're like, oh my God, those panties are so cute. Oh my God, look at her. Her butt's amazing. Like we're not helpful to have in there. But if he's going on a regular basis, because that is the thing that gets him going, and it's not with me, then again, there's something wrong with the relationship.
Well, see, but I don't think that's cheating still. I think there's just like something that needs to maybe be repaired. Like
I don't know, Carly.
So like webcam girls, to me, it's just like in-person porn. The guys or the women and the theys that pay people on different websites to be able to like have an exchange. It's just interactive porn as far as I'm concerned. I don't know. This has always been a thing, and a lot of my partners have been very confused by this, and then they thought that I played by the same rules. But like, no. And none of them have ever taken me up on it except for the boyfriend in high school. Or in college, not high school, college. We were consenting adults. But it didn't bother me because I didn't necessarily want to fulfill that need. Like I'm all for, like you said, I'm not kink shaming anybody, and I know you aren't either. And I usually, like, I'm up for anything to an extent. And then once we get past that extent, why should you be committed to me but not be able to have your fantasy or your deepest desire met? When I could do it, I'm just choosing like, no, thank you. This is a boundary for me.
Wow. Well, I think that this might be the one that we disagree on.
I think that's okay, though.
And that's okay.
I think that's okay. Yeah. But I want to know what other people think. Am I ridiculous? Am I crazy? Is it because I have this stability in my relationship where I know he wouldn't even take me up on it that I'm like okay with it?
I would like to see you after he did take you up on it.
Yeah.
And see how you're feeling.
Yeah. I mean, that's fair. That's super fair.
And also, it could be that I'm just like really possessive. And I just like, I don't like the idea of his key in a different lock. Like, I'm just real uncomfortable with that.
I mean, yes. We would definitely have to get tested and use protection and all of that.
See, and it all just got so much more complicated.
It's true. It's so much harder.
Back to being lazy. All right. So our affirmation for today, here we go. I deserve love and compassion. I deserve love and compassion.
Agreed.
Yep. And that's it. However you take your love, you deserve it. However it feels best to you, good on you.
Yeah.
But we would like to hear from you guys one way or another. You can find us on Instagram at We're All Fine Podcast, our Gmail, We're All Fine Podcast at Gmail, YouTube, We're All Fine Podcast. It's really across the board, y'all.
Yeah.
We're All Fine Podcast. So send us a message. We'd love to hear from you.
We would. Thanks, guys.
Thanks. Bye. Bye.